Well, hello there, Cancer. It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm sorry I've been away for just a little bit because I had a fall at the end of October while I was hiking in the mountains, and I just need a little bit of time to recoup from that, but I'm feeling so much better, and I've really and truly missed you. So I'm glad to be back, and today we are going to be doing your weekly tarot. This is good for the week of November 14th through the 20th. Okay, so we'll take a look at the overall energies with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot for more details. If you're enjoying the content that I create, please consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. I also am so grateful for being back on the mend and truly missing you. So I am giving away a free personal reading. I'll have details about that at the end of this video if you're interested in entering that contest. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have here. Fox Spirit, think on your feet. All right, and Teacher, yes. So I feel like there is some situation that is coming up this week. This is really, it doesn't matter if this person is the teacher or you're the teacher. There is something that you are learning. It's kind of like something comes in. It could be a stranger. It could be a conversation with somebody that you already know. It could be, we'll go to the tarot for more details, but it's almost as if this is a situation that you may need to think on your feet. It kind of takes you a little bit by surprise. That's the energy I have here. But you have the wisdom, the knowledge, the experience to move through this situation very well. But it's almost as if this is, I don't want to say it's a test. It's not a test. I think that what this is going to do is really highlight to you how much you have evolved. Okay, so it's kind of like you're going to recognize your own evolution when this situation occurs. So let's go to the tarot. We're going to take a, definitely. Okay, so we're going to take a look. It's good. It's good, Cancer. Don't worry. And Hermit. The Hermit card I'm just going to take because it's trying to pop out of here. No, this is an indication that you really do have the wisdom here. You have learned the lesson. You may be, I feel like this is, and then you have the Fool card. Yeah, you're going in a new direction. You're seeing this situation, and whether it's the same person or just a similar situation, conversation, it's kind of like, yes, I see this. I've learned this lesson. It's almost as if you're kind of like, okay, that's it. I'm breaking this pattern. This pattern is no longer, yes. Oh my goodness. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, you have, it's kind of interesting because we had the 11/11 portal this last week. And that energy, along with the full moon in Taurus that we had on Tuesday, really has helped us to clear away some of the emotions that you may have had around a situation. It's almost like you may have been very emotional last week. The emotions came up, but now you're seeing clearly. You're seeing a certain situation or person very clearly. And I love this because now you know how to move forward. You're learning from this past experience, the lessons that you really needed to kind of like take some time to really look at it deeply, to look at it emotionally, right? With the King of Cups, this is your energy, but it's also, bringing those emotions back into a stable type of energy. Getting on top of your emotions in the situation so that you can move forward. You know now where you want to plant your seeds and where you don't want to plant your seeds. You're not doing this from an emotional point. You are choosing from your heart, but you're not choosing it emotionally because our emotions a lot of times are driven really by our ego. So it's okay, I know now where I want to put my time and energy, where I want to plant my seeds. You could be choosing, and then you have the Chariot energy, your energy on the bottom, moving forward very positively. So let's take a look at the tarot. So your present energy is round and round, and then the Page of Pentacles. It could be that someone reaches out to you, or you have a conversation. The pages are all about messages or messengers. It could be even somebody that's younger than you. It could be a child of yours, especially like an adult child, or you could be the child. There's a situation here where you're suddenly seeing, okay, wait a minute, I've seen this pattern before. So, it's kind of interesting. You could have an adult child that comes to you with some information, right? Perhaps something that they want to do or something like that. And all of a sudden you get this epiphany, right? Oh my goodness, I recognize that. I recognize that from when I was their age or something like that. You're seeing things in a very much clearer situation. You could be giving advice to this younger person, okay, with the teacher card here. You could be perhaps giving advice to this person, but I feel like in this moment, you're recognizing just how wise you are. Like your years of experience in a certain situation have provided you with this, wisdom of seeing something from a bigger picture, right? Not just seeing it for what it is at that moment. That's where that King of Cups is coming in, right? It could trigger you emotionally, but then you're understanding, whoa, I just have to take a broader viewpoint of this. I have to pull myself out of this emotionally for a minute, not overreact in this situation, and instead kind of move forward in a very, calm way. Yeah. Oh my goodness, interesting energy you have underneath here. Some of you, once again, I think that this could be a child, or you could be you could be the mother, or you could be dealing with your mother, or just another family relationship. There's something here that has to end. You have the Scorpio energy. We're still in Scorpio season for just a little bit. Something needs to end in order for you to really take good care of yourself, to nurture yourself, to step into this energy of perhaps, being the empress yourself, and gender doesn't matter. There's a lot of healing here. And I feel like the healing is between, two people. Gender, once again, doesn't matter, but, two family members, one that is older than the other. But it's not the age that brings the wisdom, right? It's the time that we put into those lessons. So even if you are the younger person, I feel like you could be helping someone else, perhaps your mother or father or some other person, to see the wisdom, to see the clarity in the situation, to help them to see things in a more open-minded way. This has been a long trek, a very long trek, but you're coming into, look at this. You have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups, understanding that you are ready to move forward in a way of loving yourself, making choices that are good for you, not allowing this situation to hold you back anymore. Because I feel like there is this, okay, this person, this situation has been holding me back. I'm ready to move in a new direction, right? Because we have the Four of Pentacles and the Moon card. The fear of moving forward, of perhaps trying to reconcile this situation in a way where you can, have perhaps the emotions or the feelings with this person that you may have had at one time. So let's take a look at this, because I feel like you're coming into this sense of seeing this situation clearly. Perhaps, recognizing that there are certain belief systems that have to, you may just see a certain situation in two totally different ways. And what you have to realize is, okay, I have two choices here, because you're the Two of Wands, right? I have two choices here. Either we have to agree to disagree and move on in a very loving way, because both of these are very loving and nurturing, very family oriented, understanding, okay, this is just something we're not going to agree on, but instead of allowing it to separate us, okay? Instead, what we're going to do is end the conflict, and just agree to disagree, right? Or the other thing is that if this is a situation where you're kind of like this, I cannot agree to disagree for whatever reason, right? It's kind of like, okay, now I have to disconnect myself from this situation and go in my own direction. So it's really kind of one of those times, I think, in your life where you're making the decision to move forward in the best way that is possible for you. Now, Cancer, I'm going to say Cancer, Cancerians usually are very family oriented. It's very difficult for you sometimes to break the bonds of a family connection. But if you're breaking the bonds of this connection, I feel like it's because you have put so much time and energy into trying to heal this connection. And if it's not going to heal, it's almost like, it's breaking your heart at a very deep level. More so than maybe some other zodiac signs, right? So it's very, very much holding you back. So can you agree to disagree and continue on your path together? Understanding that, okay, this is just something we're going to have to disagree about and not like keep bringing it up and talking about it. We have to move forward in some way, some compromise, right? Or it's kind of like, I have to go my own way, because here is your obstacle, your area of resistance. You're trying to bring balance into this situation, but you feel as if you're always putting the effort into this situation and not receiving back what it is that you need to receive back, right? So compromise means that both sides are somewhat giving in. You're surrendering some of, not your core values or anything like that, but you're willing to compromise in order to keep this person in your life. But if, justice is popping out, you could be dealing with a Scorpio or a Libra here, but it's almost as if you're in this position where it's kind of like, okay, so the thing is here is that there is that Cancerian energy. It's this, holding on and being extremely attached to trying to find balance in a situation, to keep it together, right? That's actually holding you back. It's looking at the situation and asking yourself, okay, is this balanced? Is it a even give and take? And if it's not an even give and take, and you have a discussion with this person, right? And they're not willing to have that compromise. They're not willing to give up anything, right? Then it's kind of like, okay, I really do have to disconnect myself from this person at this time. Does not mean you might not come back together at some future time, right? But it's like, I have to disconnect myself. 2 wands, deciding I have to go in another direction. But that's only if this person isn't willing. Look, you have the Empress again. It's trying to decide, what am I willing to put to the side? What am I willing to walk away from? What beliefs am I willing to put to the side? Maybe part of this is that you have not yet wanted to surrender part of or compromise, right? Maybe this other person hasn't been willing to compromise. So you've been in this position. I'm not going to compromise. But now it's kind of like, okay, maybe we have one more chance. Can we both compromise? Is there a compromise here? If there isn't, it is time for you to move on. And just know that you have done what you can possibly do in this situation. Because your advice here is to breathe, to meditate. What is it that you really want? In your life, I feel like when you really take a look at what your 9 of Cups is, what makes you very happy, feeling loved, nurtured, this energy of feeling really fulfilled, very peaceful in your life. I think that's what you want. You just want peace. So it's what will help you to bring that peace. I feel like this situation is just like brewing. It's just churning underneath. It's preventing you from really taking that step forward that you would like to take. And yet at the same time, it's that contradiction of, can I really say goodbye to this person? This person is my mother or my child, or, a dear friend or family member. Am I willing to really walk away from this person? Because that's difficult. These cards are really trying to. I'm going to take a few more. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is, you have so much major arcana here. Page of Swords, I do feel, we have think on your feet. I feel like there is a message coming in, or you may want to clear the air. There's this situation where I think, especially after the 1111 portal, we get some clarity about where we're going in our life. And I feel like you're getting that clarity about how much this situation is emotionally holding you back from where you want to go. Five of Swords, once again, this is an energy of stubbornness, perhaps on both sides, Cancer, taking a look maybe a little bit about, what the role that you have played in this situation. Sometimes when we're at conflict with people that we really care about, sometimes we dig our heels in because it's so important to us. And yet at the same time, I feel like you have been over giving perhaps in the situation, but it's kind of like now you may have gotten to a point where, okay, that's it. I'm not giving anymore, right? But you're not really having that conversation with this person. This is really kind of like it's taking such a toll on you. You're having trouble moving forward because it's this situation where I feel like you are having conversations in your own mind about, you're kind of up in your head because you're so emotional about this, Cancer, right? So it's kind of like you're kind of like up in your head about how to move forward. And yet at the same time, your heart is just broken. It's like, I really want this to come back together. My 9 of Cups is that this all comes back together, that we can get along. And yet at the same time, it's, there's people that are acting in this situation, and it could be you, but I think it's really the other person that's acting almost a little bit in a selfish way, seeing things only in their way, not that lack of open-mindedness in this situation. So, part of this is recognizing that you can't manipulate other people to see things in your way, right? I mean, that, Cancer, right? We can't, I think for some time you may have been trying to perhaps explain yourself to this person, or wishing, that they would change their mind. They could see things from your perspective. But the truth of the matter is that at this time, you're trying to manifest that they can see things differently, instead of just saying, okay, I can't change somebody else. I can't change the way they feel about the situation. So instead, I'm going to go within and really spend time just loving myself. You could be trying to convince somebody, even a family member or a friend, romantic partner, that you really are worthy of love, right? Of their love. It's this energy of, okay, you cannot force someone to see things from your viewpoint. It's almost like, I feel like, it's these two ladies that are chatting there, right? It's almost like I think you may have been talking to this person till you're blue in the face, right? And it's kind of like, why can't they see things my way? Well, that's because that is part of this lesson. Understanding that flexibility, okay? Compromise. We all see things in different ways. They may, at the same time, Cancer, be thinking, why can't Cancer see things my way, right? And there's no right or wrong way. This is opening you up to the lesson of duality, that, two people can see the same situation in two different ways, and both are true. because, you know, that's part of it, is understanding there are a lot of different perceptions. As we evolve, we understand that there are a lot more different perceptions of the same situation. I feel like that is where you are coming from, right? I think you're starting to understand that there are more perceptions. There's this sense here that you're getting a bigger picture of not just this situation, but of life itself, of the lessons that you are here to learn, how they're all connected, how you're understanding that even your perception of this situation may have changed over time. So I really love this, you know, getting the clarity, understanding that the top priority is putting yourself first, you know, understanding that your emotional well-being is at the forefront here, to make choices that will bring you the happiness, the joy, the fulfillment that you really want, whether this person is part of that or not. And it's time to choose, because you had that Two of Wands a couple of times. So you definitely have the energy of it's time to choose and move forward, not allow this situation to drain you anymore of your emotional well-being. All right, so let's pull a Soul Truth card here. Am I ready to let go of this buried shame? Okay, so the feeling of shame is the lowest energy frequency there is. When you live in shame, you live in darkness. What part of you is ready to stand in the light? Is there any shame from a past experience that is ready to be healed? Okay, so I feel like that is a really good indication that this situation, I feel like it is a family member or a really close friend. It's causing you to have feelings of shame. How can I walk away from my child? How can I walk away from my mother? How, you know, it's recognizing, okay, that sometimes when we put all the time and energy we can, when we have been flexible, when we can see this from a bigger picture, knowing that this is, you know, on your fated path, that there is happiness ahead. But sometimes what we have to do is walk forward by ourselves, you know, stay in that hermit energy a little bit longer, understanding that this person, the situation just may not be ready yet to come back together. Does not mean that it won't come back together in the future, but in the meantime, it's about recognizing the effort that you have put into it, asking yourself, is there anything else I can do? And then giving yourself the permission to release any shame or guilt that you have in this situation so that you can move forward towards your happiness, because you do have a fated, happy future. So really lovely energy there, Cancer. I know this is a tough situation. I feel like actually last week may have been very emotional for you. It could have been very difficult last week. This week, I think you're stepping more into this King of Swords energy, seeing things more clearly and less emotionally. So that's you know, a good indication that you are on the way forward, ready to move forward, because you have the Chariot card twice, right? You are ready to step into your own power and to move forward. Okay, so Cancer, I do personal readings. If you're interested, the link is in the description box below. But I am having a contest, a giveaway for a free personal reading. To enter the contest, all you have to do is comment to this video and in the comments somehow put love and light. And that will put you in for the drawing, and I am going to announce the winner on November 20th. Okay, so I wish I could do a free personal reading for everyone, but I can't. But I do really appreciate all of your support and through liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.